Today, we are discussing a topic that has been on many of your minds. What does a typical day in the life of a child welfare worker look like? There's so much to cover, so we are going to jump right in and explore the roller coaster ride that is child welfare work. With all the misconceptions and dramatized portrayals out there, it is natural to feel a little uncertain about what to expect. But I have spent the past 3 decades in the trenches experiencing the highs and lows firsthand. And I would love to take this opportunity to share my thoughts about what a typical day looks like those who work in child welfare. All right, we are going to start by breaking down a typical day chronologically. Most days start with good intentions and a well-planned schedule. You might have home visits, court appearances, or team meetings lined up. But here's the thing that always seems to happen at the worst possible time. In child welfare, your day can be turned upside down in an instant. A crisis can pop up at any moment, forcing you to reshuffle your entire schedule. One of the biggest challenges we face is balancing what I like to call paperwork with heart work. On one hand, we have compliance items, those pain in the behind, but necessary reports, assessments, and the ever-present documentation expectations for all of the work that you do. On the other hand, we have the face-to-face work with families and children that are at the core of why we do this job. It's a constant juggling act, trying to meet deadlines, while also giving our clients the time and attention they deserve. Now, I am not going to sugarcoat it. This work can feel overwhelming at times. The emotional toll of dealing with traumatized children and families day in and day out is real. There are days when you might feel a sense of desperation, wondering if you're really making a difference. But it is true for those who are driven to do this work. The successes, no matter how small, can make it all worthwhile. That moment when a child smiles for the first time in weeks, or when a parent finally makes a breakthrough. Those are the moments that keep us going. And we should talk about management for a sec too. There can be times when higher-ups seem disconnected from the realities on the ground. They might have unrealistic expectations or fail to provide the support we need. It can be frustrating, and it is also a common challenge in our field. You might say it's a systemic reality. On the flip side, your colleagues can be an incredible source of support and mentorship. The bonds you form with fellow child welfare workers are unlike any other. However, it is definitely important to note that workplaces can sometimes feel toxic as well. This often stems from secondary trauma or vicarious trauma that we all experience to some degree. The heavy workload does not help either. It is definitely crucial to be aware of this and to prioritize self-care and mutual support. Here is something I always tell newcomers to the field. If you can survive a few years in child welfare, you can handle just about anything in social work. Skills you develop: crisis management, time management, emotional resilience. They are invaluable and transferable to any other area of social work you might want to explore later on. Heck, they are transferable to any job, social work or otherwise. Now, I want to emphasize that this is a realistic look at things, but everyone's experience is different. Some days will be tougher than others, but there will also be days filled with hope and progress. Social work, a challenging field, no doubt, but it's also incredibly rewarding for those who are passionate about making a difference in the lives of children and families. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you that self-care is not just a buzzword. It is an essential component of this work. Make sure you take time for yourself, setting boundaries and seeking support when you need it. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. All right, Social Work Squad, that's all for today's video. I hope this gives you a clearer picture of what to expect in this field, in child welfare specifically. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And drop a comment if you have any questions or experiences you'd like to share. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight, and remember, you are making a difference even on the toughest days.